The wealthiest people in your life probably never talk about money. Think about that for a moment. The coworker who drives a 10-year-old Honda, the neighbor who buys groceries with coupons, the uncle who wears the same jacket every Thanksgiving. Thomas Stanley spent 30 years studying millionaires and discovered that over 80% of them are first generation, self-made, no inheritance, no trust fund, and most of them look nothing like what you would expect. Ryan noticed this pattern at 41. A senior accountant in Denver, he had spent 2 decades watching clients. The ones with 7-figure net worth ate lunch at their desks. The ones with 6-figure car payments could not sleep at night. There is a psychology behind this, a specific set of mental patterns that separates the quietly wealthy from everyone else, and it has almost nothing to do with income. This is what the research actually says. A 15-year study by the National Bureau of Economic Research found something remarkable. Psychological factors, self-control, future orientation, and confidence in financial abilities accounted for nearly 40% of the variation in wealth accumulation. Even after controlling for income, education, and inheritance, 40%. That means 2 people earning the exact same salary, living in the same city, with the same degree, can end up with wildly different net worth. Not because of luck, because of how they think. I call this the bedrock principle. In geology, bedrock is the solid layer beneath everything. The soil, the roots, the rivers, you never see it. But without it, nothing above holds its shape. The psychology of quiet wealth builders works the same way. Invisible, foundational, and almost impossible to fake. So what does that bedrock actually look like? Pattern 1. They believe their actions shape their outcomes. Psychologists call this an internal locus of control. It means you believe that what happens to you financially is primarily the result of your own decisions, not the economy, not your boss, not your parents. The Journal of Behavioral Finance found that individuals with a strong internal locus of control accumulate 35% more wealth over their lifetimes than those with an external locus, even when controlling for income differences. Elena understood this instinctively. 45, an IT project manager in Charlotte, earning $71,000 a year. Not a high income by tech standards. But Elena never said I cannot afford it. She said, how do I make this work? When her company froze raises in 2023, she did not complain. She started a side consulting practice. Within 8 months, it covered her entire Roth IRA contribution. Ryan saw this pattern constantly. His wealthiest clients never blamed the market. They adjusted, quietly. The way bedrock absorbs an earthquake, it does not crack. It shifts just enough. Pattern 2. They think in decades, not days. A 2026 study published in Forbes by psychologist Mark Travers identified what he called construal-level thinking. Wealthy individuals do not ask, is this a good deal right now? They ask, does this fit my financial trajectory over the next 20 years? Decades of research published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences tracked delayed gratification as one of the most durable predictors of life outcomes, financial outcomes included. But here is what most people get wrong about it. The quietly wealthy are not white-knuckling through temptation. They have restructured their lives so the future-focused choice is the default. The temptation barely registers. Ryan did not resist buying a new car. He simply never thought about it. His 12-year-old Subaru started every morning. That was enough. The $200 a month he was not spending on a car payment went into an index fund. In 12 years, at 7% average return, that became $41,000 from a car he already owned. The next pattern might surprise you because it contradicts almost everything social media teaches about wealth. Pattern 3. They keep an invisible scorecard. Thomas Stanley found that 50% of American millionaires have never paid more than $399 for a suit. Their most expensive watch averaged $235, shoes $140. These are people with 7-figure net worth choosing to look ordinary. Why? Because their scorecard is internal. They measure net worth, not lifestyle. What stays, not what shows. Elena drove a 2018 Camry. Her coworker leased a BMW 5 Series. At 45, Elena had a net worth of $320,000 on a $71,000 salary. Her coworker, earning $89,000, had a net worth of $14,000. The Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances confirms this pattern across every income bracket. Households with the same income show dramatically different wealth, and the variable is not math. It is what they choose to measure. Ramsey Solutions surveyed over 10,000 millionaires. 97% believed they could control their financial destiny, not because they were optimistic, because they were keeping score on the right things. Pattern 4. They build systems, not rely on willpower. Behavioral science has proven that willpower is a depletable resource. You cannot discipline your way to wealth any more than you can hold your breath to the finish line of a marathon. People who build wealth quietly understand this, so they automate. 84% of quiet millionaires use highly structured, proactive budgets that direct capital toward compounding, not because they are disciplined every single day, but because the system removes the decision entirely. Ryan set up automatic transfers the day he received his first real paycheck. 20 years later, he had not made a single investment decision. The system made them. $400 a month into a total market index fund, rain or shine. At 41, that quiet automation had grown to over $190,000. He never felt like he was sacrificing. That is the point. The system did the work while he lived his life. But there is one more pattern, and it is the one that ties everything together. Pattern 5. They practice strategic invisibility. Harvard Business School research, published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, found that self-made millionaires report significantly higher happiness than those who inherited wealth. Part of the reason? They do not need external validation. Psychologists call this secure high status, a deep confidence that eliminates the need to prove anything through material displays. Elena never posted her financial wins. When she paid off her mortgage at 44, she told no one except her sister. When colleagues complained about money, she listened without correcting. She had learned something most people never figure out. Visibility invites comparison, and comparison is the enemy of financial peace. There is an old line that quiet wealth builders seem to understand instinctively. New money talks, old money whispers. Real money is silent. If that resonates, if you have ever felt the pull to prove your financial progress to someone else, this next part is for you. But here is what the research does not always mention. There is a cost to building wealth quietly. Elena sometimes felt invisible in a different way. Friends assumed she was struggling. Family asked if she needed help. The very quality that protected her wealth, silence, sometimes made her feel alone in her progress. And Ryan watched clients take it too far. The psychology of quiet accumulation can curdle into something darker. Hoarding, isolation, a fear of spending even when spending is appropriate. 62% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, but some who do not. Some who have more than enough still feel the anxiety of not having enough. The scarcity never fully leaves. The bedrock holds everything up, but sometimes the person standing on it forgets they are allowed to enjoy the view. Ryan still watches his clients, the quiet ones, the ones who drive old cars and eat lunch at their desks and never mention their portfolio. He used to think they were just frugal. Now he understands. They are running a different operating system, one built on bedrock, not on display. If you recognized yourself in any of these patterns, here is your step for tonight. Write down your net worth. Not your income, not your salary. Your net worth, everything you own minus everything you owe, just one number. Put it somewhere only you can see. That is the invisible scorecard. That is where it starts. If someone you know is quietly building something, never talking about it, never showing it, send them this. They will know exactly what it means. And if you want to understand why financial stability matters more than getting rich, that is what we explore next. Subscribe. We share one quiet insight every week.